Skechers are breaking into the NBA. When I say Skechers, what first comes to your mind? You probably think of shoes typically worn by older people, shoes designed for comfort with less emphasis on aesthetic. What you don't think of is sports, and you definitely don't think of some of the biggest names in sports signing shoe deals with them. In this video, we're going to look at how Skechers are making their move into sports, the moves they're making, and whether they can become a big name in sports shoes culture. So, what moves have they made so far? Within the last year, Skechers have signed football star Harry Kane, the England national team leading goal scorer, one of the best strikers of this generation. They've also made moves into golf, signing major golf champion Matt Fitzpatrick, and more recently have begun to branch into the NBA. Signing the New York Knicks star Julius Randle, Terrence Mann of the LA Clippers, and there have also been strong rumours that reigning MVP Joel Embiid is close to signing with them. From those NBA players that are stated, you may have already noticed a theme. Whilst Embiid is the reigning MVP and one of the biggest names in the league, Julius Randle and Terrence Mann most certainly aren't. However, what they both have in common is that they both play in the NBA's biggest markets, New York and Los Angeles. Markets with the most eyes on them and the cities with big basketball followings. Greg Smith, Vice President of Product Development and Merchandising for Skechers Performance, stated, "We're entering the sport with two players who represent a cross-section of the NBA, from an all-star veteran in the Eastern Conference to a rising star right here in Los Angeles. Our roster illustrates that Skechers step onto the court with innovative features and designs for every type of athlete, whatever your style or wherever you play." Currently, Skechers have two models of the basketball shoes out, the SKX Reza Grip and the SKX Float. Leveraging their already established shoe technology, Skechers are aiming to combine comfort with innovative technology to create the perfect basketball shoe. So who are the players in the market right now? Unsurprisingly, Nike dominate the basketball shoe landscape, with others like Adidas, Jordan and Puma miles behind. Obviously, it's unlikely that Skechers will be able to overtake Nike or even compete with them. According to Baller Shoes DB, in the 2022-23 season, 65.1% of NBA players wore Nike, around 254 players. Whereas only 10% wore Adidas and only 7.4% wore Jordan. As well as this, 10 of the most 13 worn models were Nike shoes. So, let's look at some case studies. It's worth looking into how other brands, not necessarily known for NBA sneakers, have aimed to break into the league and what moves they've made. Converse. Converse dominated the league in the 80s, worn by all-time greats like Larry Bird, Magic Johnson and Julius Erving, and benefited from being the official sneaker of the rivalry between the Lakers and the Celtics. However, eventually, as time went on, the canvas design and construction of Converse led players to eventually start looking elsewhere, leading to the rise of Nike. But Converse have aimed to make a comeback. They signed OKC star Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in 2019, who stated that exclusiveness and the fact that not many guys wore them was a key reason for him signing. Since then, they've also signed Draymond Green, although he recently left for Nike, and Kelly Oubre Jr. Now let's look at New Balance. New Balance have also looked to make their mark, signing 2 times Finals MVP, 2 times Defensive Player of the Year and 5-time All-Star Kawhi Leonard, launching his own signature shoe, the Kawhi. Since then, New Balance have added to their roster, signing Jamal Murray, Zach LaVine, DeJounte Murray and Tyrese Maxey, all dynamic and exciting guards in the league. Obviously, it's still early days, but New Balance have shown the ability to attract big names, all-star caliber players around the league that have made a steady climb from 0.2% market share in 2018 to 2.3% in 2023. So, what do Skechers need to do? And more importantly, can they do it? Change the stigma. The biggest hurdle Skechers face is changing the stigma and perception currently around their brand. Whilst they may be comfortable and even the best designed shoe, you can imagine players and consumers will still be reluctant to try them because of the fact that they're Skechers. Therefore, although cliche, Skechers need to ensure that their shoes look good and appeal to players and make people want to actually wear them. Skechers also need to sign the right players. Skechers need to continue to add big name and big market players to their roster. With Julius Randle in New York and Terrence Mann in LA, and potentially even the MVP of the league, Joel Embiid, Skechers have made a good start. Here, they can take notes from New Balance. They need to continue to mix signing big-name players with awards and accolades with big fan bases, as well as big market players playing in front of the most eyeballs to draw attention to their shoes. Focus on making a big man shoe. This is one that I'm just throwing out there, but could Skechers find their niche and make shoes emphasised for big men around the league? In the history of the league, centres and power forwards have often underperformed when it comes to selling shoes. This could be where Skechers thrives. Using their advantages in shoe technology to make shoes perfect for big men, using Joel Embiid as their poster boy, and players like Julius Randle as supporting cast, Skechers have already made a really good start. Signing players early. This is where me mentioning Nike as a case study comes in. Let's look at Converse. Converse dominated the league in the 80s, worn by all-time greats like Larry Bird, Magic Johnson and Julius Erving, and benefited from being the official sneaker of the rivalry between the Lakers and the Celtics. This would require a big commitment to their basketball division and clever scouting and recruiting to identify and sign up-and-coming talent. Looking at Converse, they signed Shea in the summer of 2020, coming off his breakthrough year with OKC, where he averaged 19 points per game. Now, 3 years later, he's an All-NBA player and OKC's franchise player with no signs of slowing down. And finally, Skechers need to rely on their backbone. This is probably the most important component of their success. Skechers need to continue to rely on the comfort and design of their brand as the backbone for building it. Skechers have a reputation for being comfortable. They need to use this as their biggest draw in order to be successful. So, can they do it? It may be far-fetched, but even the idea of Nike breaking into basketball was unheard of once upon a time until they signed Michael Jordan. By no means will it be an overnight success. The job to turn the perception of Skechers around and become a respectable basketball brand will be their biggest hurdle. It's important to state that success doesn't necessarily mean taking over Nike. But for Skechers, success could be becoming a reputable brand, a respected brand that big names around the league are drawn to wear. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you for sticking around for the first video on For Real. We're a channel looking into making mini documentaries and commentary on all things sports and fashion culture. So feel free to comment anything you'd be interested in seeing, like and subscribe for more and all that stuff, and talk to you soon.